Hey, Shalom, first and foremost, all praises, glory, honor goes to Yahweh Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Makakwadash, double honors to the elder apostles like Ray Millstone that taught us this truth. Citation, all y'all can pushing this word day in and day out. Salakia. Had to clear my throat. I just finished eating. Yeah, these data centers, man, coming to a neighborhood near you. That's what I'm gonna title this lesson because, right now I currently live in the data center capital region of the globe. Here in the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia area. Okay, which Northern Virginia is home to the most data centers in the entire earth as we speak. Of course, things could change as time goes on. As closer we get to the Lord, magnificent return. All right. But this is what's going on right now, man. Data centers, high energy usage, power plants, higher electric bills. It's kind of good. People used to say, yeah, you got to move out of the cities and suburbs. Hey, it's kind of good you living in the cities because it's hard to put a data center in the middle of a city because a lot of the land in these major cities like Washington, D.C., New York, Philly, it's already been claimed. All right. Of course, a landowner or homeowner, they can lose their property due to eminent domain. All right. Or they could just out tax you. You know what I mean? They could up your taxes 1,000% and you can't afford to pay, the taxes on your home. So you got to sell it. They force you to sell it. So this is how this devil gets down. He doesn't play fair, man. So-called white man doesn't play fair, man. People that look like this guy right here, man. This sodomite, man. I notice all these news reporters are sodomites now, but I'm gonna play this clip, man.
Data centers to connect to the U.S. power grid. The move comes after tech companies complain that it took too long to get connected. The chairman of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission calling the vote historic, saying it addresses concerns of affordability.
Many Americans are increasingly concerned about the interconnection of large. Many Americans are increasingly concerned about the interconnection of large.
Is this woman right here? She's worried about, getting her nails did, trying to stay fly, be on social media. She's in her late 40s, early 50s, they call it she done hit the wall. You could tell she was young. She probably looked like something, but now she's trying to hold on to whatever beauty she has left. Got side niggas, side cougar action, right? She's a cougar. You can tell she done had some side D before, some young D. All right. She just worried about getting her cut, man. All right, what they call it, her backdoor money, under the table money. She's head of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, man. A scripture says a woman shall compass a man. Here it is. She has a higher seat than every brother in the truth, right? Because she has power to cut your power off.
Loads and data centers will increase their bills in that stress. As chairman,
loads
I am
and data centers
taking extremely
will increase their bills in
seriously
that
the mission
stress.
that Congress is
As
entrusted
chairman,
for to ensure that rates are reasonable and Americans pay their fair share or less.
The
Commission's move comes as cities all across the country face the record growth of data centers and the community concerns that come with it. No place knows that better than in Northern Virginia, home of the highest concentration of data centers.
No place knows that better than in Northern Virginia, home of the highest concentration of
Brian
data
Entick,
centers.
who's been covering this for us recently. With what's going on, I'm fascinated to learn about what folks there are doing with their mattresses, Brian.
With what's going on, I'm fascinated to learn about what folks there are doing with their
data center
mattresses,
alley, and referencing what you said about them connecting to the
you're
electric
gonna hear that,
grid. It's interesting because there's two sides to that coin. When you connect to the electric grid, the prices go up. Then there's data centers like this one, where we are in Sterling, Virginia. It's not connected to the electric grid. It has its own power plant. The issue there is it's noisy and it's right across the street from this neighborhood. And
the issue there is it's noisy and it's right across the street from this neighborhood. And that,
imagine paying $1 million, right? Because that's what these homes are worth, about $1 million in Northern Virginia. Northern Virginia is more expensive than Maryland. Maryland, these homes will probably be like 700-800. These are what you call the McMansions. They're not the full mansions, but they're like, the mini mansion, man. They're about 3,000, anywhere from 2,500 to 4,000 square feet on the inside, 2 to 3 car garage. You know, 5 rooms, minimum 5 rooms. You get 3 to 4 bedrooms in an office, and you know, fully finished basement. You know, some of them got a sunroom. You name it, man. Got decks, patios, some got pools in it, but these are like smaller size lots, meaning the land or they're a little bit smaller. It's a little bit tight in this neighborhood, so they may not have all the bells and whistles when it comes to the lot or the land. But you know, imagine paying all that money for that home to be next to a data center, man. That just makes constant noise, man. Constant noise.
Imagine
It's where the mattresses come in.
next to this and having to hear this constant ringing the hardware right at the front door.
To this.
And I mean, you look in
And
the
having to hear
distance.
this constant ringing
There it is.
the hardware right at the front door.
Yep.
And I mean, you look at
There
the
it is,
distance.
Vantage Data Center, standing tall,
There it
with
is,
new
right
walls,
there.
and massive generators,
There it
right
is,
next to the
Vantage
facilities
Data
within the
Center, standing
neighborhood.
tall,
What did you
with
think when they
walls,
first turned it
massive
on?
generators,
Well, we were
right next to
told
the
in the
facilities
beginning
within the
that it's just they
neighborhood.
test the generators to make sure they're working.
Well, we were told in the beginning that it's just they test the generators to make sure they're working in case of an emergency. That is what we were told in the beginning. And then
Obviously, they
as
told them the
the year
generators
and
were
the
just
months have gone
temporary.
on,
That was
it's
more than a year
very
ago.
temperature.
The massive data center
Already
was
said
never
they
hooked
told
up to
them
the
the
power
generators
grid,
were just
so the
temporary.
generators are
That's
the
what
only
they
source
year
of
ago.
electricity.
The massive
You
data
just
center
hear
was
this
never hooked
noise,
up to
it's
the
just
power
like,
grid, so
we
the
just have a
generators
curse.
are the
You
only
know,
source of
it's that
electricity.
bad. Red Curio also lives right next door.
Our concern is property values.
Red
Unless we
Curio
can
also
mitigate
lives right
this,
next door.
and we're talking about lawyers with options of what we can do and all that.
Unless we can mitigate this, and we're talking about lawyers with options of what we can do and all that.
See, Esau, he's talking about his concern, his property value. What about your health, you idiot? You know, that's how you know it's the Edomite, man. he's worried about the carnal thing. But what about your health, man? What about you know, possible exposure to radiation and chemicals? And you know, imagine if a false flag or a major explosion happens at, you know, the data center next door, man. What if Iran or Russia and their allies allegedly target these data centers, man? That's not your concern, right? Your concern is all about the bottom line, huh? Your retirement, man, huh? You look like a walking corpse, man. You look like what they call that? Oh man, forget the name of that walking corpse, man. It's a movie about this guy. He was dead, but they animated his corpse so it looked like he was alive, but he was dead the whole time, man. I forget the name of that movie. If it comes
We know
back,
that
I'll
we're not going to get the values for our homes.
We know that we're not going to get the values for our
one
homes.
neighbor here even
that
put
we could
plexiglass
afford.
against the
It's
window to
about
block
one
the
money.
noise.
It's quality
And
of
they have their own
life.
sound
One neighbor
meters
here
to
even put
monitor the noise.
plexiglass up against the window to block the noise. And they have their own sound meters to monitor the noise.
Virginia is the data center epicenter of the world. There are hundreds of them, consuming more than 25% of the state's power, driving up electric bills.
They can build their own power plants as part of their
of the state's
factory,
power,
so
driving
that
up
no one's
electric bills.
They can build their own power plants as part of their factory, so that no one's
25% of the state's power. And Virginia's a big state, and you got data centers. Really, is the number Esau gives you. You can times it by 2. So let's just say half. All right, half of the state's power. Showing you having power real soon is about to be it's about to be a privilege, not a right. Right now, having power as we know it is a right, but real soon it's about to be a privilege, man. Okay. So everything's about to change, man, for the worse for the average American, man. All right. Oh yeah, it was a weekend at Bernie's. That's what that Edomite looks like. That walking corpse looks like. Weekend at Bernie's, man. Yeah. Class.
prices will go up, and in many cases, prices of electricity will go down for the community, and very substantially down.
President Trump's plan to keep the data centers off the power grid is good for keeping electric rates down, and there are positives with data centers. They create jobs when they're built, they create local tax revenue, which helps schools and help lower property taxes, and they're pretty much inevitable with the way we use technology these days, arguably becoming essential infrastructure. Neighbors here don't disagree, and they don't hate all data centers, but think they shouldn't be so close to neighborhoods.
What would you say to people in other parts of the country where they hear data centers considering coming?
Do everything in your power to try to stop it from being built in an area that has any residential properties within,
try to stop it from being built in an area that has any residential properties
And the
within,
mattress is coming, by the way,
10
Blake,
to
there is
15
one guy who
miles
put
of
a
it.
mattress up over his window.
And the mattress is coming, by the way, Blink. There is one guy who put a mattress up over his window.
So, you know, people putting mattresses, plexiglass, you name it, man. They sleep in. Here it is. You're in your own society, and you gotta sleep with earplugs on and shit. You gotta sleep with your TV on full blast. I mean, a lot of these people have families, man. You know, that shit's destroying their kids' organs and shit, man. It's just frying. They're getting fried over there. because I know it's not good for your body. Because even living by a power line, right, a major power line, right, a substation or whatever you want to call it, man, that's not good for your health, man. It's a lot of radiation. So imagine a data center, man. Data center is a power line substation on steroids, man.
Because the noise sometimes gets so
As far as
loud.
energy use is concerned.
Because the noise sometimes gets so loud.
That's why we need Captain Planet to save us, man. Howard Shy, man. Esau took Captain Planet off the air, man. I might have to.
In terms of the data center here, they have said in the past that they're monitoring the noise. They don't believe that they've
In
gone
terms of the data
outside
center
the
here,
norms allowed
they have said in the
within
past that they're
county.
monitoring the noise. They don't believe that they've gone outside.
It was so fascinating, Brian, to hear you describe it as essential infrastructure because it is. You want the AI, you
It was so
need the data center,
fascinating,
but
Brian,
then
to hear you describe it as essential infrastructure
and
because
see it with your story.
You want the AI, you
A
need
lot
the
of
data
residents
center,
pushing
but
back
then
because
for
they
this
get
time
that
and
in their
again,
backyard.
and see
It's
with your
fascinating and it's playing out all
story.
over the country. Brian Enton on it tonight. Brian, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and down.
Brian Enton on it tonight, Brian. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and down.
All right, so there you have it, man. You know, and this is why, you know, you have these town hall meetings in these Edomite neighborhoods to, you know, to stop before there might a data center being built nearby, man. You know, let me ask Google something, man. You know, are data centers being built near Amazon warehouses? So yeah, Google pretty much said yes. You know, so wherever you have an Amazon logistics warehouse, you know, then you got private company. You know, these are, you know, they talk about, oh yeah, it brings jobs, but guess what? You better hope the nigga that work at the data center buys your property, man. All right. So the data centers, man, you know, they are the new boogeyman, man. You know, because it started. Esau, he starts off small. He started off with the 5G, the cell phone towers and shit. You know, now he's building data centers in your neighborhoods, man. You know, somebody asked, why aren't these built in the middle of nowhere, middle of nowhere? There's not enough resources for them. You know, they want to demoralize you. That's probably the best answer. Yeah, this is all to shame you. You know, and you tell this lady she lost some sleep. She's probably lost some weight. Lost some peace of mind. That's the most valuable thing outside of this truth in this society is peace of mind. But this truth is peace of mind. So it is what it is. It is what it is, man. You know, now data centers represent the curses falling upon the Edomites, man, because Esau used to have power to say no. Now he doesn't have any power, any say so to stop. Because ultimately it's Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai's will, man. Right? So, let me get a few precepts. This is Ecclesiastes or Sirach 41:7. The children will complain of an ungodly father because they shall be reproached for his sake, man. That's what you see going on now, man. These Edomites, they're complaining of not only their forefathers, but even their leaders now, Trump and his cohorts. You know, they don't know who, most Edomites don't know about the elites, the Rothschilds, so forth, the Rockefellers. They don't know about them, the elite banking families. So they pinning on Trump and his cohorts. All right. They complaining about him, man. Like, man, look, man, we done did everything you asked us. We went to school for 30 years, got all these degrees and doctorates and masters. You know, we make 6 figures. You know, we go on 3 to 4 vacations a year. And then this is how you treat us. Hey man, call Lord Yahweh Shimei Al-Shai, man, for putting the curses on our enemies, because that's a major curse. Imagine a data center, man, just buzzing and humming. You know, got your whole dog going crazy and shit. You know, so I don't see too many brothers be like, yeah, data center popped up right next door. See too many brothers talking about that, man. But you know, you see Edomites catching that kind of hell, man. It's a lot of noise, man. They using generators and you know. That's why Esau want the earth to be cool, man. So these data centers will use less power, man. You know, this whole spring was chilly. It was cold, man, which I didn't mind. You know, 60, 70 degree weather. That's the high. I didn't mind it, you know, because I'm more of a hoodie person anyway than a t-shirt person. Right? You got this heat dome hitting this week, you know. Hey, man, it could be. Because if a data center go out, man, hey, you could kiss this economy goodbye, man. That's how weak this economy is. They got to depend on data centers for it to run. That's how you know it's going to be rolling blackouts. Because, hey, before these data centers lights go out, your lights is going to go out. You know, our lights is going to get fucked with, tampered. You know, so you're going to have rolling blackouts. All right. You're going to have different events, man. But even during the midst of a blackout, hey, the Lord makes sure our dwelling places always have light, man. You got many brothers that had testimonies about, you know, the power going out due to a storm or whatsoever. And their house was the only house with light on. I think I had a situation like, I can't remember the full details, but I had a situation like that. You know, this was years ago, maybe 2020, around that time, roundabout. You see these storms are getting, ever since these data centers popping up, these storms, these thunderstorms been way more brutal, man. And it's like every week it's a brutal storm, man. And they talking about water drop. These fucking data centers sucking the earth dry, sucking the earth's resources, the water. These rivers are drying up. Okay. It says, because they shall be reproached for it, say, yeah, they're going to be ashamed, man. They're ashamed of, you know, the average white person is ashamed of being a white person right now. That white privilege, white power shit. Shit's long gone, man. It's almost an even playing field because, you know, these crackers, they go to school for 30 years and Esau will draft a nigga from the hood and he'll be the face of the NBA, NFL, making $30 million a year compared to their measly 300,000. So, you know, these devils are complaining, man. They know they're losing their grip. Ecclesiastes or Sirach 27 and 26. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that setteth a trap shall be taken therein. Yeah, man. You know, hey, Esau casting out nets, casting out snares, not knowing, you know, his snare is for him, man. It's going to fall upon his head, you know. He's thinking he's going to corner the people into the New World Order. Right now, he's taking all the jobs. Ain't no jobs unless you're working in a tech field, medical field, or blue-collar work. Those are like the big three job industries right now. Tech, medical, and blue-collar. And they're already making medical automated. You know, you got a lot of nurses losing their jobs. And let's not get into the tech field. The tech field is becoming heavily automated, you know. And blue collar is automated as well, but you know, people's not gonna trust a robot, you know, not yet, to come in their houses and fix their plumbing and shit, you know, fix their electricity, wiring and shit. And mechanics and so forth. That's all blue collar, but guess what? People's not right now. They're not ready for a robot to fix their shit. Unless they're at a dealership, you know. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make, Esau's trying to make all cars now like Tesla. Tesla, you got to go to the dealership to get it fixed. I never seen a Tesla at a Pablo, the mechanic shop, man. DJ the mechanic shop. You don't see them there, man. All right. That's how you know these different car manufacturers. You know, and if it be the Lord's will, a lot of them gonna go out of business, man. Especially when this double mandate, these cars will be e-cars and shit. No gas. So, whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein. Yeah, man, Esau, you gonna be taken in your devices. This is not the scripture I wanted. I wanted the scriptures to be taken in the device. And he that setteth the trap shall be taken therein, man. But this is a snare, man. These data centers, 15-minute cities. It's about to get bad out here, super bad, especially here in the DMV, man. All right, yeah, this is the one I really wanted. Yeah, especially here in the DMV, because these niggas are proud as hell. They trust their little government jobs, their little pensions, their comfortability. This is the home of a comfortable Negro, This is Psalms 10:2. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Yeah, man. He's even persecuting his own people, not just the Israelites, because the poor here represents the Israelites. But even his own people, the underlings of his own, man, the dregs of his own people, the white trash, the white working class, the Edomite working class. He's persecuting their own, man. He's putting data centers near their once cozy neighborhoods. So you can imagine them Edomites when they bought them houses 5, 10, 15, so on years ago, right? They bought them houses in that. Let's see if I could pull it up. They did like a little overhead view. Let me see if I could get to it. Yeah, I think it's around here somewhere. So when they bought these little houses, right? Let me see if I can get that scene. Because these devils, man, they do their research. They do their due diligence. So close to All right, here we go. Hold on.
Be so close to
Yeah, so when these devils did their due diligence, right? They bought these homes and shit, right? They did their due diligence. That's one thing you give Esau. He knows everything near his home. But, Jake don't do their due diligence. They trust in the realtor. They think the realtor's word is bond, and they go by. Or they go by, a neighbor or whatever, right? So he did his due diligence. They bought this house. Maybe this white building on the left. Maybe that was there before, right? Let's just give it the benefit of the doubt. That looked like an old office building on the left. But that blue building on the right, you could tell that was probably all trees, all wooded lands, and so forth. So these devils didn't see this coming. They're like, they're looking like, oh, what they building over there? It looks like, I heard it's an office building. And then when it goes up, they're like, it don't look like an office building to me. Is that a jail, Bobby? No, I heard it's a data center. I'm looking up the company's name, and they have several data centers across America. Oh, wow, a data center. Maybe that'll bring the property value up. Oh. Esau talk. Yeah, guess what, man? Now you catching hell. That data center's giving you hell, man. They called all y'all about shit outside, man. Data center, man. This is bad. The bad news is totally out of control. Billionaire said, keep these in your backyard. Yeah, because you're the peasants. They're not going to put them where they live. These devils, let's just say the billionaires of America, right? These devils, they living in Key Largo, Florida, They ain't gonna replace their golf courses with data centers. Hell no. They're gonna put them right where you live, man. So if you people were smart, you would have sold your homes, let's just say 2 to 3 years ago, at the peak of the housing market, right? When houses was going to market and it was getting sold in like within the first week type shit. If you were smart, you would have sold then, packed your shit up, and
you just want to curse
away from data centers. Now you got
you just want to curse.
You got the Weekend at Bernie's Edomite, Yeah, you just want to curse. Yeah, that's what you been doing. Oh shit, god damn. God damn, yam. So the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor, let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. Yeah, because the ultimate, this is a good scripture. The ultimate goal of the data center is to basically have this beast system up and going, man. That's why so many of them, so many data centers, and the majority of them were built within the past couple of years, man. The last year or two, man. When was ChatGPT first hit? The public. Like, I want to say it was like 2024, something like that. So that's when the data centers were getting built around that same time. And it says, for the wicked boasts of his heart's desire. What's his heart's desire? The new world order, man. Scripture says when he's about to fill his belly, then he's going to feel the wrath of the Lord, man. All right. And blessed the covetous whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. He doesn't think about God at all. He doesn't thank God, man. To him, God is the enemy, which he's right about that, man. God is his enemy, man. His ways are always grievous. Yeah, that's a grievous thing, man. Data centers, man. Which, when you see a data center, you don't see too much traffic going in and out. Of course, you got people to monitor, the data center, but it's not like a normal 12-hour shift, 8-hour shift keep monitoring. Because you could do majority of the monitoring at home. Right? I'm sure they got meters and shit like that, energy meters and all types of shit. Then even automation, monitoring temperatures and shit like that, man. The vitals of the data center, right? And it says, thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them, man. Yeah, man. He's like, who's seen him? Ain't nobody, them fucking Iranians, those, North Koreans, they ain't got data centers, man. How they gonna see him? His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Hey, then that devil said he wanted a curse. You just want to curse. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity, man. Yeah, man. He's this guy, man. He speaks lies, lives a lie. He loves lies. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. Yeah, you got these police officers in the cut. The Edomite officers especially be in the cut. They pick the better cuss than nigga officers. You barely see a nigga officer gonna let you know he's coming or he's around. An Edomite officer be in the bushes and then hopped out on you. Like, sir, you going 15 miles over the limit. His eyes are privily set against the poor. Yeah, man. Against Jake, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Indigenous tribes of Israel, man. Here in America, man. All right? The northern tribes, man. The Latin and Native tribes, man. And the Negro tribes that make up the 12 tribes of Israel, man. All right? And Israelite foreigners, too, that descend thereof on their father's side, man. It says, he lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth them into his net. He croucheth and humbleth himself that the poor may fall by his strong ones, all right? So his whole goal is to, watch Jake lose everything. But we're living in a new day now, man. Things ain't gonna go as smooth as this devil, has desired, man, as he planned, man. The blueprint he has is gonna fail, man, miserably. Which, if you're an Edomite, you living on the shores of America, you're as dumb as a bag of rocks. 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. Yeah, this devil, he has all the technology. He has the history. He has all the carnal, what they call it, the tangible things, man. He has all the tangibles, but it's still not good enough, man, to fool the elect, man. All right, because we're not ignorant. We know what his end game is that beast system. That's his end game, man. All right, so that's why we really ain't, you really ain't seen, the full collapse yet, because, he ain't, number one, we still out here streets preaching, right? It ain't been a famine of the word yet. Number two, the beast system ain't fully hit. He's had sub-samples and little small populace that he's chipping, but it's not, ain't no pressure behind it yet. It's got to be pressure, like, okay, yeah, you can't drive, you can't go to the gym unless you take it, or you can't go to the grocery store, you can't, do whatever, right? So, yeah, we ain't ignorant of his devices, man. You can't, So that's the main thing. So, but it's close though. The famine of the word is close, and then the mark of the beast is close as well too. That's why those are the final blows of this devil's rulership. So we just gotta, patiently wait, man. For the Lord, let the Lord do his thing, man. Okay. But, seeing data centers pop up overnight, like popcorn, that's definitely a good sign, man. And that's why, hey, man, a lot of brothers, the Lord, like me personally, I never lived in Northern Virginia. Oh, yeah, Northern Virginia is a nice place or whatever to live in. You got, the women in Northern Virginia, they're more in shape than a Maryland woman, man. Maryland woman, you gonna see a ghetto body, but you see a little fit bitch in Northern Virginia, man. So those are Esau's hubs, man. You go to Northern Virginia, they got skyscrapers out there now. All right, showing you this tech money's rolling in, man. I remember it wasn't no skyscrapers. There was a time it was no skyscrapers. Barely any skyscrapers outside of Alexandria. When you go to Northern Virginia now, you go in Northern Virginia, you're going to see skyscrapers, all throughout. So I'm going to end